Good morning students, hope you're all doing well. Now before we proceed on with the video lecture, I would like to point out a few things. Firstly, I came to know that most of you are not actually reading the NCERT textbook. Now I know you have not got time to purchase it, most of you might not have got the time, but you do have PDF links available for your NCERT. I have already forwarded this links to your class monitor, so make sure you get the links. Once you are done downloading the book and you are done with going through the video lecture, you'll sit with your book, go through these points and then write your assignment answers. Okay, don't do it without reading your NCERT, otherwise it is pointless. Now secondly, there's something known as sources available in your books. Okay, it's given in these violet boxes next to each topic, so make sure you go through that sources. I cannot teach sources in such a short time. All you have to do is, once you're done with that topic, read the source, understand what it is about. It either can be an excerpt from a textbook or an archaeological artifact that they have discovered. Okay, the archaeologists have discovered, so make sure that you read the sources too. It is important. These are the sources which will come for your final exam, for your board exam. You remember 18 marks is allotted for your sources, so one source from each book, that will be in your final exam. You don't know which one, so you can't take any chances, so read the source along with the text material given. Now we'll be doing tracking social differences. So what are certain ways by which archaeologists determine whether there was social economic difference among the Harappans? Okay, one way we have already studied, that was by studying the houses. Okay, now if the houses was multi-storied, the archaeologist assumed if the bigger the better, and who is able to procure that kind of resources and build these bigger houses, obviously it will be people who are powerful and elite. In the same way, another way to study whether there were any difference between the people living in Harappan civilization is studying the burials. Now what are burials? The a way of, way of sending off the disease, like whether you can either cremate the dead people or you can bury them. Now the Harappans were believed in the practice of burying their dead in the graves, so they usually dug out these pits and they used to put their dead ones in it. Now if these burial pits were lined with certain what do you say, bricks, or it was different from the rest of the graves, that could indicate that that particular grave belonged to a person who was, or who might have been, a person belonging to an elite category. Now, another point, if the dead were buried with their belongings, whether it was their pottery or their jewelry or the items of daily use, that indicated that the Harappans actually believed in afterlife. What is afterlife? See, many cultures throughout the world, they believe that once you are dead, your soul does not automatically die. They believe in the concept of soul. So this eternal soul, even after the body dies, it may go into heaven or some such kind of place where they still exist in some form, not in their actual human form, but in some form. So if they exist in this form, they might need these articles of daily use. So that is why sometimes these dead were buried with these kind of articles, which these people in thought that these dead might need in their afterlife. Now, other artifacts with which the Harappan people were buried could be jewelry, and it could be what do you say, semi-precious stones. So these jewelry was found both in the graves of men and women. That means you can just surmise that both Harappan male and female used to wear jewelries. So there was no gender discrimination when it came to wearing jewelry. Now, in order to track social differences, archaeologists classify these artifacts which they found during excavations. Now, if it is a utilitarian good, that means goods that have utility. Utility means objects of daily use. So this objects of daily use if they were made from normal day objects or very common objects. That means these goods were used by common people, common Harappan people. Whereas the luxurious goods, on the other hand, okay, which were difficult to procure, which were rare, which were made from rare and precious items, that were used by people of elite class. But this is quite an oversimplification. Problems कहाँ आता है? Problems arise when archaeologists find articles which are of daily use, but at the same time are made up of materials which are quite rare and expensive. For example, a spindle whorl. A spindle whorl which is given in your book, it means, think of it like a prehistoric charkha. Okay, it was used to make thread, cotton into yarn. The same that was the use of spindle whorl. Now if the spindle whorl or prehistoric charkha was made up of a very costly ceramic kind of material known as faience, so that could indicate that these were objects of daily use, but at the same time they were luxuries too. So archaeologists don't know in which category to place it. So while studying the distribution of artifact throughout the civilization, archaeologists have identified that certain precious or rare materials or items were only found in bigger settlements like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, but not in smaller settlements. So why is that? So they concluded that only in these bigger settlements the rich and powerful lived, who were able to procure these resources and procure these raw materials, and they use these raw materials or these resources to enhance their prestige or showcase their status. So that is one reason why these expensive materials such as gold or faience are basically only found in few bigger settlements of Harappan civilization.